Good afternoon, everyone. This is Henry with Simpler Trading, and in tonight's free video, I wanted to follow up on a concept that we had started a couple of weeks back and that I believe continues to be helpful, and that is that the reading of the put call through Thinkorswim, I'm using cash sign PCALL, that this reading can help us look for highs and lows in the equity markets. So, like everything with technical analysis, it's not going to be a holy grail, but it's one piece of the puzzle that I believe if you will include, will give you a little bit more edge, and I think has the potential to give us a meaningful signal in the coming weeks. So let's begin by showing you one spot that I'm just going to pick out here kind of because I know where it's at, and that is the movement of January 4th, right? So we look at this, and if you're looking at just the put call, I'm going to show you that this is the lowest reading. You see how this has an intraday reading? The low is 0.34. Well, that is the lowest value that you had seen in some time. That tells us that market participants are just buying calls hand over fist, right? Everybody is buying calls. Well, what happens on this day? That ends up being the lifetime high, right? So that January 4th is where we topped out, right, as everybody loaded up on calls, and we sell off until when? Until the put call ratio can visit the other end of the spectrum. Now I'm going to show you, I'm kind of just pointing out to you the lows and the highs, but you can give this a little bit of definition by applying something like a high of the low bar study. So in this case, we're just looking at the highs and lows of a 21 period look back, and then the arrows kind of signify movement against them. So as I was just pointing them out to you earlier, but now we can see a little bit more clearly. And then here on the other end, right, when you jump up to make that 21 period high in the put call, one day later is when you put in the low with the S&Ps. And this is what you've got to look at here. Again, this high was on the 21st. That was over the weekend and into the 24th. That Monday was a very significant down day. So as I've said, it's, you have to take this into consideration with other things. On that Monday, puts got paid, but what happened from there, right? Everybody is very bearish. The next 4 days trade sideways, and then you really rip those that established short positions. This pattern repeats, and you see another fresh high that was made on February 24th, right? Highs in the put call ratio tell us that market participants are aggressively buying puts when everybody is short, right? Readings above 1.0 are kind of showing us that those want another way of measuring your extreme. But we see that on February 24th, and here's your low in the spiders. So this is all to say that, if you look back at this and compare this sentiment reading against itself using about 21 days, now, again, that number, you can adjust it a little bit as you see fit, but those extremes are going to tend to help you put in highs and lows in the equity markets. And that's also why we've got a big chance, I think, to see another meaningful low, right? We have failed at symmetry in the SPY. The put call ratio has come in a good deal, and all of the selling you saw this week, no one really panicked. This was the sharpest reading that you had seen in the put call, and it's not really, you get up here, that's when we're going to have a chance to buy stocks, and that's probably on something like a fresh low. So at least entertain that scenario. Keep that in mind as you look to find meaningful bottoms and equities that you would like to pick up. And I think that'll be helpful as we get into the next several weeks. So y'all have a great weekend, and we will see you at the next free video. Hey traders, this is Henry with simplertrading.com. I wanted to thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful. And if so, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons down below. If you would like to also see me putting these ideas into action and trading my own account live in front of you, be sure to sign up at simplertrading.com. And I hope to see you in the chat room sometime soon.